This is the story of Wiley and the Hairy Man. Well, Wiley was in the 5th grade, and Wiley lived in the forest with his mom and dad. Well, Wiley's father was big and strong, had muscles on top of his muscles. He looked like Hulk Hogan. Well, Wiley's daddy was so big and strong, he liked to chop down big, huge trees. Well, Wiley was little and small, and he liked to chop down little tiny trees. Well, Wiley's daddy had a big, huge axe. And Wiley's daddy one morning had a little snack for breakfast. He had about 16 pieces of bacon, had about 50 pancakes, and about 4 dozen of eggs. Well, Wiley had about 1 pancake, 1 piece of bacon, and 1 egg. He had a little tiny hatchet, too, and he couldn't chop down big, huge trees, so he chopped down little tiny trees with his small hatchet. Well, that morning, Wiley's father finished his breakfast, and he left, and he said, "Wiley, I want you to watch the house for about 3 days." And Wiley's father left, and he had to stay gone for about 3 days to chop down trees. Well, Wiley went in the corner of the kitchen, and Mama was washing dishes. And Wiley took a stone and started sharpening the head of his hatchet, and he sharpened. And Mama was washing dishes. She said, "Wiley?" He said, "Yes, ma'am." "You going to chop down some trees?" He said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "All right, Wiley, I want you to be careful while you're out there in the woods." He said, "All right, Mama." She said, "Wiley, I want you to especially be careful of one thing." He said, "What's that, Mama?" She said, "I want you to be careful of the Hairy Man." Wiley said, "Okay, Mama." "The what?" "The who?" Mama said, "The Hairy Man, Wiley." Wiley put down the hatchet. He put down the stone. He said, "Mama, what's the Hairy Man?" Well, Mama dried her hands off from the dishwater, and she said, "Well, Wiley, the Hairy Man stands about 10 feet tall, and he's got hair all over him. That's why he's called the Hairy Man. And he's got blood-red eyes, Wiley. And when he looks at you with those eyes, they say, boom, 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 boom. And he's got long claws, Wiley, that come out from his hands. And he likes to tip up on little boys in the forest. And he carries a big sack in his hand, too, Wiley. And he likes to throw little boys in that sack. And I want you to be careful of that Hairy Man, Wiley. Ooh, and 2 things, Wiley, 2 things. If you run up on the Hairy Man in the woods, I want you to immediately call for your dogs. Call for your dogs immediately, Wiley, because the Hairy Man hates dogs. He hates dogs. And another thing, Wiley, you have to trick him 3 times.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?